Hey everybody, how's it going? Koch here from Broadway Limited Imports. We're back with another What's Coming video. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video because we're going to recap our announcement at Amherst, the Railroad Hobby Show in West Springfield, Massachusetts. And we're also going to be covering our newest announcement for the month of February. So we get 2 months of new products in one video. Take a seat, grab a drink, have a snack, relax, and we're going to go through some really great products coming in both HO and N scale. And we're going to start off with our Amherst announcements because we had one for both HO and N scale, and you're going to hear about them right now. All right, up first for you HO scale guys, this is a new addition to our brass hybrid series. This is the Boston and Albany A1A Berkshire in HO scale. When the Boston and Albany was looking for stronger pulling power to pull their freight trains, their answer came from Lima Locomotive Works, who built them 25 A1As and 20 A1Bs for the railroad in 1926, and they were all eventually scrapped between the years of 1949 and 1957. The A1 featured 63-inch driving wheels, a working boiler pressure of 240 psi, and while they were not quite built for fast freight, they did haul their heavier freight trains, and the Boston and Albany had them because they were much more powerful and faster than their 282 Mikados that hauled their freight trains at the time. In our first production run of the A1As and A1Bs, we're building the locomotives in several different prototypical appearances, and this includes the Lima Locomotive Works Demonstrator, locomotive number 1, and Illinois Central 7050, which was purchased and originally Lima Locomotive Works number 1, but IC purchased it and used it on their railroad. All of these models come with handcrafted brass boilers, cabs, tender bodies, and die-cast locomotives and tender chassis. Again, the chassis are going to be die-cast metal, so you're going to have great pulling power with these. And we're offering these models in both Paragon 4 Sound DC, DCC with smoke, and our Stealth Series. Our Stealth Series models are no sound DCC ready, so that means if you want to get your aftermarket decoder, just make sure it's a 21-pin decoder, and you'll be able to put it into your locomotive with an already installed speaker. 8-ohm speaker is already installed, so you don't have to worry about that. It's plug and play. So once you plug in your decoder, you're good to go. Just do note that some lighting features will differ depending upon the decoder you use. You can find more information on our website, broadway-limited.com. The order deadline for these locomotives is July 10th of this year, and we're going to estimate that these are going to be arriving in the spring of 2026. Next up for you N-scalers, you guys have been asking for it, and they are finally coming. It's the Baldwin Sharknose RF-16s in N scale. These locomotives were built between 1950 and 1953. The RF-16 diesels were a cab unit diesel locomotive built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works to the specifications of the PRR, and they kind of have the same contours that are kind of reminiscent of Raymond Loewy's design for the Penske's T1 class steam locomotives. But Baldwin built a total of 160 of these locomotives, 109 A units and 51 cabless B units. In addition to the PRR, Baltimore and Ohio and New York Central railroads also operated these, and then also most recently the Delaware and Hudson had these as well, and we're offering all of these railroads as prototypical details and paint schemes on these locomotives. These will be coming in on the spring of 2026 with an order deadline of July 10th. And of course, these railroads operated these locomotives in ABA configurations, so our AB sets come with a powered A unit and an unpowered B unit with Paragon 4 Sound DC and DCC. And we also plan on offering an additional single powered A unit, so that way you can get your ABA set and have them prototypically accurate on your railroad. The single A unit has all of our Paragon 4 Sound and DCC features like the AB sets, and all of them have road-specific details and lighting. That order deadline again is July 10th, and we expect these to be in stores on the spring of 2026. Now let's look into February with our new announcements. We're excited to bring back our HO Scale 280 generic consolidations. Consolidations were known as highly efficient replacements for the 260 moguls. The consolidations could move trains twice as heavy at a fraction of the cost of the moguls, and the 280 consolidation was a mainstay on railroads all over the world. Although only a handful of railroads bought into the consolidations when they were first introduced, only a few of them, including the Penske, made it their staple freight hauler. Over 33,000 were built in the United States, and 12,000 of them were exported to other countries. And that left about 21,000 of these classic steamers to do their work on the state side. All the models that we have coming out right here are Paragon 4 Sound DCC with synchronized puffing smoke, rolling thunder, and our Go Pack capacitors. We are also building these in our Stealth series, and our Stealth series, like I mentioned earlier, is our DCC ready line of locomotives, so they have no sound, but they do have the 21-pin board that allows you to install your preferred aftermarket decoder. Plus they have speakers already installed, meaning that once you get your decoder of choice, it becomes plug and play, and you'll be good to go. We expect these to be arriving in August of this year with an order deadline of March 13th. All right, our final announcement for the month of February is our revived EMD F3s and F7s with some incredible new additions to our lineup. The first run starting of F3s, this includes a few notable restored locomotives and some other incredible schemes. We've got the Atlantic Coastline as a part of it. We're also offering Chesapeake and Ohio 8016, which is currently restored and operational. Delaware Lackawanna 664 and 663 up in Steamtown. We're also doing the Denver and Rio Grande Prospector scheme. Go perfect with your California Zephyr or other Rio Grande passenger trains. And we're also doing the Pennsylvania Railroad as part of this running, and that includes the train phone antennas on the roof of the locomotives. Now let's look at the F7s, because we got some really cool additions to this lineup. We're building accurately the Norfolk Southern Executive F units in HO scale, and this is complete with the recessed ditch lights on the front of the locomotive and other details including roof arrangement and horn placement and type. We are also building these units as they exist today on the Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western Railroad and on the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern. So you'll be able to get some accurate reuses of these locomotives after Norfolk Southern sold them away to those two railroads. In addition to these units, we're also offering the Chicago Northwestern Executive units, Amtrak and Connecticut Department of Transportation units with the New Haven McGinnis scheme. That also has accurate horn placement and other details as well. You can find all that and more on our website, Broadway-Limited.com. These will be arriving into stores in September of this year with an order deadline of March 13th. So that about does it. A lot of really exciting products coming your way this year and next year. So make sure that you visit your favorite dealer, go online or visit them in store and get your order in before those deadlines. It's always important to get them in before the deadlines because, as we've said before, you don't want to miss out on these models, especially those Norfolk Southern F units. Those are going to be really sharp, and you're going to want them on your railroad as soon as you can. So placing an order before the pre-order deadline guarantees that you get it before the rest of everybody else when they ship, and also ensures that you don't miss out on them because after the order deadline, we fill them on a first come, first served basis. So again, make sure that you get your orders in, contact your dealers, and you will enjoy these locomotives on your railroad in the near future. Thanks again for watching and sticking around. I know it was a long one, but we appreciate it. And we'll be back with more announcements coming up soon. The Rocky Mountain Train Show will have a special announcement for some Union Pacific fans, and we have much more in store before that. So stay tuned, and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Broadway Limited YouTube channel.